What would you say the key considerations or challenges are for organisations embarking on that AI journey?
I think the biggest learning I've had over the last 12 months is that what we see is the technology is moving incredibly fast. And actually the technology is moving much faster than organisations are able to move, and particularly the people and the operating model within the business. I think we've all been slightly obsessed with the tech. So which Gen AI model should I use? How do I make it safe? How do I put my architecture in place? And all of those are absolutely vital. But I need to understand that ultimately it's people that are using the technology. And the most transformative impact of Gen AI is when my business process actually changes. That often then means that I need different skills within the team. It means that my operating model probably needs to change, and they're much more traditional, transformational kind of elements. We really need to have as much focus, if not more, on those kind of parts of the process. Some recent research that we've undertaken shows that actually half of the people that are using Gen AI at work are actually self-procuring. So it's basically bring Gen AI to work. And then if I look at the training that sits off the back of that, people are recognizing that they need to be trained, but only 1 in 5 people have actually had new digital skills trained to them in the last 2 years. It's a really good example of that challenge to get to scale and to get to value. If I'm not focused on the people, I'm really going to struggle to deliver at the end of the day.
I can very much concur with that, and also just shadow Gen AI is just a huge problem that you have employees actually bringing in their own Gen AI into the company that's not regulated, and potentially then feeding in company data into that. And of course, we've seen huge ramifications come off the back of that in the media. From my side, some of the challenges, you've mentioned the learning and the upskilling that needs to happen. I think quite often, just talking to CDOs, some of the blockers that they see in actually realizing their AI ambitions or actually engaging with the technology. Obviously data quality, data in general. AI is only as good as the data you feed it with, devil's in the data. So, poorly labeled data, unstructured data again is going to have an impact if you feed it to a model, but also just finding the right use case. So we spend a lot of time at Avanade really with our AI transformation studio approach, which is one of our delivery approaches, for instance, for AI, to actually envision for 2 to 4 weeks with the client and actually refine that backlog of use cases, or even create it. So we're actually picking those high value use cases for the business before we get started, to avoid that purgatory of POCs that we saw last year.
And I think to add to that, I think we went through a phase of trying to apply Gen AI to every problem, rather than actually looking at what were the real issues that I need to fix within the business, and was Gen AI the right answer? I think that's starting to change again now, and we're actually looking to apply it in the right places. And then it's about a real business value driven approach, and something that Accenture built was what we call the AI Navigator, and we built this out for each different industry, and it looks at the business process, looks at how and where Gen AI might help within that. But critically, it goes into the team structure and the skills, because actually what we see is that there are completely new roles that didn't exist before. So if I look at something like the contact center, the AI knowledge engineer, so this is someone that is best to come from the contact center and to train them how to use Gen AI to improve it in the future. So there are these new roles coming in that are critical alongside the deployment of tech to actually make sure that it works.